Here we are, guys. Welcome in another episode here. Gogi breaking down this NHL and AHL slate. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes behind. Had only 25 hockey games to cap there. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're gonna give you guys some free plays in all sports here. I got my client plays at PICKSCITY.com. I got a bunch of them today, guys. Had a rough streak yesterday. I was looking at Montreal, didn't pull the trigger. They win. Pittsburgh had the under, didn't give that. Had New Jersey there. They bit me in the ass. So just had a couple plays that I gave out. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the money train like we had been the last 6 days, but we're going to get right back on it there. They got to stop here where I am, and I plan on getting on board here. Anyway, enough of the bicker and batter, guys. Let's get right into it. First play here, it's going to be a client play, so I can't be too brief on it, but it's going to be the Buffalo and the Vancouver game, guys, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Looking at Hutton, he's going to be fresh, and Demko. It's going on his second start. Markstrom's going to be out now, guys, so they called up DiPietro from Utica. So you're looking at Demko going to be getting the run the next few starts going forward here. So I'm looking at an over. I think Hutton, he's fresh, but he hasn't been the greatest on the road. I don't exactly trust him on the road. And Buffalo seems to be scoring ever since they've had their injuries. They've had some injuries there on their DN there, and a couple forwards went down, but they seem to be scoring. And 4-3 loss to Calgary the other night. I think there'll be some goals here. Vancouver, they're coming off a 7-2 win against Ottawa. Great showing there. So I like some goals there. That's a lean and got a play on the side there. On to the next one, guys. Let's go to Colorado, Boston. This is going to be one of the better games I have written here. Let me just move some stuff around. Can't see the damn notes. All right. I got this could be a Stanley Cup matchup here, guys. Colorado, Boston. These are two of the best teams in each West and Eastern Conference. Free play here. I'm looking at an under, guys. Colorado, they've been on this road trip. They're going to be going up against the best defensive team they've seen here. Toronto, not nearly as strong defensively. Montreal, same thing. Boston's going to be causing, I think, Colorado a lot more problems here. Along with this is their last, I believe this is their last game of the road trip. So there'll be tired legs for Colorado. It's going to be a defensive-minded game. Grubauer is going to be fresh. That was close to being a client play, but I decided to give that as a free play for you guys. So take that one, take it to the bank, hit your bookies up with that one. I like the under 6 in Colorado, Boston. That's at -110 Bovada. I found that one, guys. That was only about a half an hour ago, so it should be available. And Boston on the money lines, -135 I found. So it's a little rich for my blood there. I'm not too sure. That's a strong lean, though, towards Boston on a long road trip for Colorado and one of the tougher defensive teams you're going to see here. So Halak's getting the start. He's going to be fresh. I don't see why he can't he can win this game too. He's a good home goalie who's been tested, so he's going to have a great start, I think, here too, guys. So there's a free play for the under on Boston, Colorado. Anyway, on to the next game. If I'm that long on each game here, guys, we'll be here for an hour. On to the next game, Pittsburgh and Detroit. Pittsburgh and Detroit. We're looking at client play. Yes, sir. Client play on the total there. So I can't be too in-depth on the total. But on the side here, I'd be looking at Pittsburgh in regulation. I was going to make that a play, but the money line was a little too high. I found regulation was even -135, 125, which I still think is a little too much there, guys. But Pittsburgh's got to be live here. Detroit's banged up. They're without Mantha. Bernier's going to be going, I would think. I'm not 100% sure if that's confirmed. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat know. They're going to be without Howard, so they called up Larson. They tried Picard out. That didn't work. So now they called up this guy Larson for Grand Rapids. He's just as bad, guys. He's if Larson goes, jump on the puck line for Pittsburgh. If Bernier goes, I still think Pittsburgh can win. Regulation at -120. I do think that's live. I didn't make it a client play. I like the total a little bit better there, guys. But I think Pittsburgh is live there. Next game here, we're looking at San Jose and Tampa Bay down in Tampa, Florida. This is a high-scoring affair, I believe. Two teams that need to start winning some games. San Jose, they've been Jekyll and Hyde. They can't seem to win against these tough teams. Tampa Bay, they beat Nashville, then they come back home and lose to Minnesota like 6-5, or 5-4. What are you doing? Both teams are really weird. I don't really have much of a play on this game here, guys. I have written down, though, San Jose. Sorry, guys, I had a little phone call there. San Jose, Tampa Bay over 6.5, even at -110. He is going to be fresh here. Jones, guys. Dell, yeah, he got pulled against Washington there, Jones. Dell went the game before, so Jones is going to be fresh. Vasilevsky, he got lit up against Minnesota. He should be better, I have here, but it's a real tough game to get a read on. Angle I did actually find was I thought Tampa would be like a minus 130 favorite. They got a minus 200. That's ridiculous. San Jose, you'd have to be looking at San Jose. You can't take Tampa at minus 200. But I'm not going to make that a play at all, guys. Lean over in San Jose there. On to the next game here. This is a client play. Columbus, I got a lot of client plays, total of 5. This is the third one. Columbus, Florida, got a play on the side. Looking at the total, though, guys, I like the over here. Columbus, they still can score. They've had some issues now defensively without Werenski. Ever since he's went down, guys, they're allowing quite a bit of goals. They can't seem to be having a tough time finishing teams off, but the bigger thing is they're allowing goals. They're still scoring. I'm not sure about Bobrovsky. It's going to be his first start here since November 27th. He's been on a long break, so you'd think he'd be good, but it's hard. Bobrovsky, he hasn't ran away with his job. Drager, they called him up from the AHL. He didn't do too bad, but yeah, I still think an over here, guys. Let's see the notes here. Defensively, yeah, they're still allowing goals. I think it's going to be a tough task, too, for Korpisalo. Same with Bobrovsky, so I like the over there, guys. On to the next game here, Minnesota, Carolina. A little sip of coffee here. Jesus, we're just wiring these off left, right, and center. Appreciate all you guys tuning in live. Yeah, let me get a little coffee in here. Action-packed day here. Beautiful Saturday up here in North, Anyway, who cares about that? We want winners. Let's get on to this here. Minnesota, Stalik. I thought Kakkonen would be going here today, guys. Stalik is going to be Stalik's second start. Man, so many notes here. Sorry, guys. I should have organized these a little better. I had the under 6 originally written down here for Minnesota, Carolina, but it's at 5.5. So I had to lay off that, guys. I do have a client play here on the total. On the side. So I can't be too in-depth on the side between Minnesota, Carolina, but on the total, I do lean to an under. I think Mrazek's going to have a good start. He needs to have a good start here. Just Reimer's right on his ass. Reimer's playing better hockey. They were going back and forth in the middle of November, and then Mrazek took the reins of the job, and then Reimer started winning games. He's been a good road goalie. So I think Mrazek's going to have a really good start here, guys. I do lean to the under. Next play here, we're looking at Toronto, St. Louis. This is a free play for you guys. Sorry, it's been so long since a free play there, just the way it's worked out. I got 3 more lined up for you. Toronto, St. Louis, looking at the under here. Toronto needs to play strong defensively. They can't get in a shootout against St. Louis here. If Toronto wants to start winning games or even making the damn playoffs, they got to start winning games, 3-2, 2-1. And this is the team they got to do it against, too. A St. Louis team that's, they do have some offense, but, they usually win games 3-2. They're not the craziest of offensive teams. Binghamton's going to be getting the start here, guys, who's played well on Wednesday. And Anderson's going to be getting his 4th start, so it is a little bit on Anderson here. St. Louis is going to be pissed off to losing 3-0 to Pittsburgh. So I think it's going to be a defensive-oriented game, guys. I'm capping this. They want to give us 6 at minus 105 at 365. Let's pull that trigger. Under 6, minus 105, bet 365. That's a free play for you. On to the next game here, guys. New Jersey Devils, Nashville Predators. Looking at Louis Domingue and Rene in net. Domingue, I don't even know what to say about the guy. He got killed in Buffalo. Was feeling himself after coming up in the AHL, but a Buffalo game really hit him hard. Just looked awful. Couldn't stop a puck to save his life. So they're gonna come out firing too. The Devils. They need to start winning games. They fired their coach. They couldn't even beat Chicago last night. I like the over here for you guys on a free play. I think over 6 plus 100 at Heritage. Devils, like I said, Rene hasn't been anything to shake your, he hasn't been that good this year, and the Devils need to start scoring. They do have the offense. They're going to be without Nico Hischier. It looks like Hischier's out, but Hischier hasn't exactly been contributing a crazy amount from what I've been watching from the Devils games. So yeah, I don't trust Dumang, and I think the Devils will score. Nashville, they're missing Grunland and Arvidsson, two offensive players, but the way the Devils have been on the defensive side has just been brutal. Not to mention, guys, this is PK Subban's return game. He's returning back home to Nashville, so this should he'll be fired up too. I was close to making the Devils a play there, but I thought, this over at 6, they don't even want to give us 6.5 plus money at 6. Take the over there, guys. I like that play. On to the next game here, the New York Islanders and the Dallas Stars. The Islanders are throwing Greiss out by the looks of it, and Bishop for Dallas. Greiss, I'm not too keen on Greiss here, guys. He's been struggling on the road from what I've been looking back on my notes, allowing at least 3 goals in his last 3 starts. Not to mention Bishop. It's going to be his second start in versus Winnipeg. That was the game he won again. They beat Winnipeg. He was 36 of 38, stopping those 36 of 38 shots. And then, so I think Dallas here, guys, is going to be a live play. They got the momentum. It should be a good game. I also like the over 5. I capped it at 5.5. They want to give us 5. I like that as a free play for you guys as well. I wouldn't shy away from Dallas either, but over 5 at -104. I believe that was Heritage or 5 Dimes that was available at, guys. I like that play. The Islanders, I don't trust Greiss here. I think he's going to allow a couple goals here. The Islanders, they haven't exactly been firing. They haven't been firing as well as you wanted to see in the last couple games. But with that being said, I still think the Islanders have I've seen their offense and what they can do. There's kind of two different teams. Islanders like to cross the net and kind of work around the crease of the goalie, where the Stars are more tic-tac-toe, put in the back of the net. So 2 different teams. I think we can see over 5, at least get a push at 2-2. You're pushing 3-2. You get the empty netter. There you go. There's a winner. So I like the over 5 there, guys. And the New York Islanders, Dallas, along with Dallas on the money line was a little rich, -145. I don't blame you for taking regulation, but like I said, 2-2 could happen. I like the over 5 even better, guys. That's why I made that a free play. On the last game here of the night, 10 o'clock, LA Kings, Calgary Flames. I like this is the last client play on the total, so I can't be too in-depth on the total there, guys, sitting at 5.5. But I do like Carolina on regulation here. I thought Rittich was going to be going. It would have been his 8th start. They need to start looking at Talbot, I think, a little more. I know I did like what I was seeing from Rittich, 4 or 5 games in. After your 7th game, you really got to start giving your goalie a break. The kid, big save Dave, he can't do it all, guys. So it's good. It's a good thing to throw Talbot in, I think, here. Campbell should be going. They can't throw Quick out. I believe they're going on a back-to-back. That's why. But Campbell, from what I'm seeing, is going to start. He's fresh, but he's coming off a loss 4-2 against Anaheim, guys. So he's going to need some help here. Flames, they fired their coach. I think they're going to start scoring some goals here. The Kings, they haven't been scoring. So I think Carolina in regulation, -125. I think that's live for you as well, guys. And I got to play on the total. So there's the NHL card for you. Sorry, my speech sounds like I got a speech impediment today, but just so much. I've been copying so many games, guys, writing down so many notes. It's tough almost to get everything that's in here out to you guys, but I'll recap the games here. Ask any questions there. It'd probably help slow me down. But free plays here for you. Under 6 in Colorado, Boston. Boston on the money line. I like that as well, but stronger on the under 6 for you. Down to Toronto, St. Louis. I like the under 6 there as well, -105. Toronto needs to start playing more defensively. They got to start winning these games 3-2. They can't, especially with this new coach. They can't do what they were doing, and they were winning games like 5-3, 5-4 before. You can't keep doing that. Got to play a lot more defensive minded. I think this is going to be a good spot for it. Under 6. I would have thought it was 5.5. Toronto, St. Louis. Another free play for you. A lot more to close off the card. The Devils in Nashville. The Predators here, guys. I like the over 6. PK's return. Dominguez and net, not exactly too stellar, and Rene hasn't been anything to be worried about, in my opinion. Dallas and the Islanders. Dallas there in Texas. I think the over 5. Yeah, I don't see why you did a 5, guys. I think the bookmaker should have made it 5.5, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the over 5 there at -104, almost even money. There's another free play for you. And to close it out, I also like Carolina in regulation over the Kings. Talbot in net. Perfect game for him to get a win here. He's only 1-4 in the year, guys, and I think Dallas is going to start winning some games here. Not Dallas, sorry, Calgary. Calgary's going to start winning some games. So there's the NHL recap for you there, guys. Going to take another little sip of coffee here, and we'll get on to the AHL. AHL here, I'll be quick because I know not exactly everyone caps AHL. We have been crushing AHL here. I had, like I said, a brief spell last night, but overall we were 6. I think we're 9-4 now, guys, in the last week. NHL, I believe it's 14-7 now. We were 14-6. We were 14-4 in the last week. So, a little brief spell there, guys. But we're looking to bounce back and do what we do best: cash some tickets and increase that bankroll. So let's get on to this. 15 games in the AHL. I'm not going to be as in depth like I was with the NHL here, guys. Probably about 10 minutes. Let's get after it here. Really quickly here. So San Antonio, Toronto, that game I believe already went off or is going off here. I was looking at the under 5.5, Toronto, San Antonio. Side is really tough there, guys. I wouldn't be looking at a side in San Antonio, Toronto. If anything, Toronto. They're 10-1 at home, 9-1 in their last 10. So Toronto's a hot team. Cleveland versus Belleville. I'm looking at Belleville money line here, guys. I know I am from the hometown here, so I don't want to sound like a homer giving it out, but they called down one of the better defensemen here that Ottawa has, Eric Brandstrom. So they should have. They played a good game. They just, that third period, they broke down. So I think they're going to have a much better game. Dackard's going for Belleville, who is, not exactly he's their third string. So could make you a little worried here. Kivlankins is going for Cleveland. I also like the over there, guys. That's actually a free play going on about Belleville. Free play number 1, Cleveland, Belleville. Take the over 5.5, -118 at Bet Online. That's available for you guys. I really like that play. Belleville games have all been going over. Just hit the over in all these games. On to the next one, Lehigh Valley, Hershey, Berube, and Copley. This is a client play here, so I can't be too in-depth. But I do like the under. I capped it at 6. It's 5.5, so maybe stay off that one. Client play on the side. Chicago, Manitoba. The Chicago's got Dansk. Dansk is going here today, guys, versus, I believe, Outhouse is this guy. I don't think they're going to throw Berdin again here. If you see Outhouse and Dansk, which I'm expecting, I'm going to have a half unit on the, what did I bet? The over 5.5, -119 at Heritage. That's another free play for you guys. We're looking at Chicago, Manitoba, over 5.5, -19 at Heritage. I like that play. On to the next one here, Milwaukee, Rockford. Milwaukee's throwing out Groznik, and Rockford should be throwing Tompkins out. What do I have? Do I have a play here? Yes, I do. A play on the total. But on the side, Milwaukee, as you know, guys, they've been winning a lot of these games, but Groznik's been a little iffy on the road. I think with Tompkins, fresh Tompkins here, the way Rockford's been playing, the line kind of tells you at +102. I like Rockford here, guys, to win. They're also 9-3 at home, 9-1 in their last 10. They're rolling just as much as Milwaukee is. So I think Rockford can cash that ticket for you there, guys. Not an official free play, but that is a strong lean. On to our next game. We're looking at Bridgeport, Syracuse. I got a client play here on the total on the side. I like Syracuse. They're 7-4 at home, 7-3 in their last 10. They're throwing out Martin. Doesn't exactly instill a lot of confidence in me here, guys. But Bridgeport's throwing Skarek. I don't know, whatever his name is. They're probably butchering it. He's Bad road goalie here, awful road goalie. So I don't exactly trust him too much. Also with Syracuse, Martin, I trust him more than I do Bridgeport's goalie. Let's say that much. And Syracuse is scoring the puck a lot more. They're healthy. They're headed in the right direction. I have down here, guys. So let's take Syracuse there. I like that play as well. On to this next game here. We're looking at Utica versus Providence. Utica's throwing up their backup, Bachman. Providence throwing Vlader. Vlader's a guy they called up, had a shutout his last game. Utica, they're having defensive issues. They're really hurting for goalies right now because they've called up DiPietro, their number one. So they're throwing out their third goalie in Bachman. He's an older guy here. I think he's a 33-year-old journeyman. So tough start from here, guys. I like Providence in regulation. The only thing that makes me a little iffy is the fact that Utica is 7-3 in their last 10 and 7-3 on the road. So they do have a good home record, but again, that was with DiPietro and all these other goalies and players. They more so goalie they had. They have a really bad goalie tonight. So I think Vlader and Providence is live here, guys. Regulation plus 100 at Bovada. That's the Providence Bears. Providence Bruins, sorry. On to the next game here, Charlotte versus Rochester. Looks like Charlotte's throwing out Forsberg, Anton Forsberg. I'm not a big fan of. And then the Hamburglers going for Rochester, Andrew Hammond. I think it's a good spot for Hammond here, guys. I like him. Not to mention Rochester's been one of the hotter teams, 7-1 their last 10, 7-1-2 or something like that. But they're also 8-1 at home, where Charlotte's 5-6 on the road, 4-4 in their last 10. So I think Rochester could be live here, guys, and that's a free play I have down for you. Originally, the line's minus 155 on the money line. I like regulation plus 100 at Bovada. That's the Rochester Americans over your Charlotte Checkers. I think that's live with Andrew Hammond. On to the next game here, Laval Rockets and your Springfield Thunderbirds. Des Rosier is going. This guy stopped 63 shots of 65, I believe, guys. The guy stopped goddamn 63 shots. Insane. He's playing like an absolute monster. Letdown spot? I don't think so. Laval's coming in. Laval's 5-5 on the road, 4-4 in their last 10. Springfield's 9-5 at home, 7-3 in the last 10. So I got a free play here, guys, for you on Springfield. It's minus 122 at Heritage. Des Rosier, like I said, he played unbelievable his last start. And Laval, they got to go with Lindgren here because, Kincaid went the other night there, guys, and he really shit the bed. So Lindgren's going tonight, and I just think the Springfield team's moving in the right direction. So let's take Springfield. Pull up minus 122 at Heritage. Coming up to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 more games here, guys. Texas Wilkes-Barre. Texas throwing out Bo, who I'm not a fan of. They've been winning some games. That's been with Ointinger. Both these guys have been really bad. So I guess Ointinger is funny name is the starter. So Bo, he's been really bad all year, guys. I don't trust him at all. Thing is, though, Wilkes-Barre's probably thrown on their backup here. I'm thinking Laramie. I think he's a Finnish fella. I like the over. It's sitting at 6 here, guys. I got that as a free play for you as well. Just 129 at 888 Sport. It's a little bit rich there. If you can get the over 6, I do like that. 6.5. Pushing it a little bit there, guys. But I could see some goals here between Texas and Wilkes-Barre. Also lean towards Wilkes-Barre. But the money line is minus 159, so it's a little bit high. But they're 8-3 at home, 7-3 in their last 10. Texas 2-9, 1-8. So Wilkes-Barre is definitely the better team, but I do think we're going to see goals there. On to our next game here, though, is Binghamton and Hartford here, guys. Binghamton's throwing out Sen. Hartford throwing out Huska. Both backup goalies here. I do have a client play on the side. On the total, I was looking at over. I had it at 5.5. They have it at 6.5. So it almost kind of cancels out the total there, guys, unfortunately, in that game, Binghamton Hartford. But I would look at an over. If you can get over 6, I'd understand. Over 6.5, I'd probably lay off, have a play on the side. Next game here, your Tucson Roadrunners and your Iowa Wild. Tucson's one of the better teams here, guys, and I like it enough to give you guys a free play on it too. It's minus 130, but I don't see Tucson losing this. Iowa's in a bad spot. Robson got pulled last time. They're on like their third backup with Kakinen up in Minnesota. So Prosvedov's a great goalie. Tucson's got 2 really good goalies. That might be the team Early team to win the AHL Calder Cup, Tucson Roadrunners, calling it out. They're a really good team, guys. I think they can win this game at -130. On to the next one here, San Jose, Ontario. Coroner's going to be going by the looks of it. He's fresh. They had Shortridge going the other night against Ontario, which I fucking took a dive on that one, guys. Ontario really bit us in the ass. They got crushed, I believe, 9-2. Pettersson's got some issues right now, guys. I don't know what's going on, but he's not right. Yeah, their backup they haven't really thrown out at all, so I don't even know who's going here tonight. What do I have down? I have San Jose on the money line, -101 at Heritage. Ontario's just really a team I can't back right now. And San Jose scoring 9 goals. You want to give me almost even money on a team that they just beat 9-2? Let's take San Jose here, guys, with their starter fresh tonight. That's San Jose -101 at Heritage against Ontario Reign. On to the second last game here tonight, guys. Bakersfield Commodores versus the Stockton Heat. Fresh Skinner for Bakersfield, which I like. Not to mention Stockton, they're one of the better teams in the league. They've scored a lot of goals, top power play, both home and away. They're throwing out Zaggy Doolin. Funny name. I like the over 6 here, guys. It's at +100 at 888. I think that's very live. Two teams that are scoring goals. Goals have not been a problem for either team I have here, especially Stockton and Bakersfield. I actually got to play on the side here, guys. So I can't be too in depth on who I like on the side. That was the last client play. I don't know if you caught on to that, but I do like the over 6 there. Bakersfield Stockton. I think that's very live for you guys at 888. Giles shouldn't be going for Stockton, Zaggy Doolin, which I don't think is that good. So let's take the over 6 there. On to the last play of the night of this 15-game card in the AHL is Colorado and San Diego Gulls. Colorado Eagles and the San Diego Gulls. Werner should be going for Colorado, who's fresh. I do like that. He's their starter. And they've called up Stolars to the Ducks because of the issues with Gibson right now. So Stolars, I believe, is not going to be going tonight. I believe Boyle is. So keep an eye on that on Twitter there, guys. I'll try to tweet out the beat writers or the accounts on Twitter who the starter is going to be. But if Boyle's going, I do like an over 6 at +100 at 888. Werner, as good as he's been for Colorado, San Diego is one of the more have a lot of firepower for their offense compared to most of these teams. On any given night, they could score 4 or 5 goals. And that's with Stolars behind the net. They can win a lot more games. I don't trust Boyle as much here, guys. So I got to lean to Colorado, but I'm gonna put a half unit on the over 6 here between Colorado and San Diego. It's the last little free play for you on the night there. So that's pretty much the card there, guys. Typical 28, 30-minute show for you when the cards are over 20, when the games are over 20, when there's over 20 games on the card. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's go over this really quickly. No, don't want too much more dead air. I know I've been really bickering all night and up and down with what I've been saying. But anyway, enough of that. We're looking at Cleveland versus Belleville, over 5.5, free play -118. We're looking at Chicago, Manitoba, over 5.5, -119. We're looking at Rochester in regulation. That's a free play for you as well. +100 at Bovada. Regulation, Rochester over Charlotte. Texas, Wilkes-Barre, I like the over 6 at -129. It's a little high, guys, but 2 backup goalies going. Texas is scoring a lot more goals, so let's take the over between Texas, Wilkes-Barre, over 6, -129. Another one here, this is probably the best free play of the night, I think, is Tucson over Iowa, -130. I know these plays, guys, are a little rich, but this might be the best one I think you should throw some money on because I got a unit on it too. This is a free play, Tucson -130. That's going to be the last free play of the night. I really like that one. I also had a pretty strong lean on San Jose tonight and also the over 6 between Bakersfield, Stockton, and Colorado, San Diego over 6. There's the card for you there, guys. Sorry for, just be having my speech impediment today. I don't know what it is. Got to get some winners in my system. I think that's what it is. Not enough winners after yesterday. So little sour from that. But anyway, who cares? We're gonna get some winners here today. I know I keep saying that, but I'm really strong on my client plays here. I'm looking at plus money, minus 105 and minus 112. So 3 plus money and 2 minus 112 and 105. Yeah, DM me on Twitter, guys. I'll send those out to you. Right now we got $5. It's $5 for the daily picks. We got 50% off all month. Not to mention you get a free t-shirt if you sign up for the monthly. I know a couple of clients there just jumped on board. You'll get your t-shirts sent out through Pick City. Shoot them a message on Twitter, and they'll answer any questions you have there. Great people, Steve and Adam. Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next show there, Tuesday, episode 7. Thanks, guys.